Zoom.us is the URL. Okay. I'm going to sign in here, and I'm going to walk through some of the settings. So I've got my school account here that's already ready to rock and roll. When I log in, there's a lot of stuff I'm confronted with, right? Like schedule a meeting, join a meeting, host a meeting, yada, yada, yada. Folks, I'm going to recommend, at least those of us at Northwest State Community College, we use the Zoom Launcher Chrome extension along with our Google Calendar to do our meetings. At least our scheduled meetings. That's going to make life a whole lot easier. Yes, I can come in here and probably do a meeting topic and all this other stuff. And yes, at the end of the day, it can probably, I know it will sync with my Google Calendar, but what I'm going to recommend for you all is that in your Google Calendar, if you have the Zoom Launcher extension available to you, and I'll show you that in a second, you click on a meeting and it says make it a Zoom meeting. And if I go to more options, which just is an expanded view of that, click on make it a Zoom meeting, all of a sudden then, hopefully, the URL ends up in the location link, and then details also dump into the description link. So my recommendation is to use the Zoom for people at Northwest State or people using Gmail specifically for your scheduled meetings. Use the Zoom Launcher. So if I go over to Zoom Chrome extension, search for this Zoom Scheduler here. I can go ahead and you'll see I have this turned on. I could remove it if I wanted to. You will have add to Chrome. You'll click on that. I don't know if any other dialog boxes pop up, but you click on that. Bingo, bango, bongo. We should be good to go. You may have to refresh your screen in order for that to come up again. But again, once that extension, Zoom Launcher extension, is installed in Chrome, I'm going to recommend that you use Chrome just for simplicity's sake. You could, under more options, the expanded view, right, of what you can do with a meeting, make it a Zoom meeting, boom, 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 boom. Very, very easy. Scheduled meetings, I'm going to recommend that you do that way. All right, so we're back into our home screen for Zoom. Due to increased demand, dial in by phone audio conferencing temporarily removed from your free basic account. So that's interesting. Where I thought we would still be able to do phone in, dial in by phone audio conferencing capabilities may be removed. So don't count on this. Computer audio is going to be the way to go. And again, this is work from home. There's the dog. Maybe I'll cut this. Maybe I won't. You'll be nicer to me if you know I got a dog, 3 kids, and a wife. That's how remote stuff works, right? We're not just ones and zeros on the other side of a wire. We're actually humans here. So let's be patient and be kind and try to make the best of a situation, right? Be thankful for all the things that we are being stressed out about right now, because we're lucky, in all honesty. The vast majority of us are very, very lucky in this world. So patience, kindness, support. All right. So hopefully my wife is home with some food and the kids will eat and the dog will eat and I can keep going here. But this looks like now all of these meetings that you're seeing here are ones that I actually put up using Google. Oh, look at that. Boom. There's a Microsoft plugin and there's a Chrome extension right here. So if you need access to it, it's right down there at the bottom. That's exactly what I showed you. Let's check this out real fast over on the right sidebar, and we'll close that. Last thing with regarding the phones. I've tested this with students who have 1 megabyte internet connections at home, and Zoom still works for them. So I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to click Get Training. This takes us to support. There are some live training webinars. If you're just getting started, I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and do this. There's recorded training sessions. You can find them here. I might review these, but I'm just going to actually go ahead and share these. So here we go. I'm going to post this link here. Everyone interested in learning more about Zoom, they have some nice tutorials / webinars. And then I can actually make all that go away. And I'm working. If you want to bring me some food, that'd be well, no, these people don't want to hear me eat. I'll come up in a second. All right. So there we go. Sharing is caring. If you want to stay up to date with a lot of the stuff I'm sharing or see what I've shared in the past, facebook.com/NSCC design. That's going to be where I've got quite a few videos. Like this one will end up being there. And then LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn, I believe it's just if you search for me, Michael Vanderpool, you should be able to find me. That's me. Yes. Looking for some more info on Zoom. Check this out. Sharing is caring, people. So, 2 places you can follow me. Did that actually load? Yeah, see? Zoom, you got to work on your info there. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this post. Do that. Can I get rid of this other thing? I don't know. I'll just leave the link in there. That way people can see the link. Because this is kind of gross. I don't know. Anyway, those are there. I might edit this out. Who knows what will happen. But those Zoom, geez, I had a lot of these open today. Recorded sessions, worth checking out, probably. Hopefully you can fast forward them. Click on previous meetings. Okay, it's making me sign in again. I don't know what logged me out. Cool, that was earlier today. What happens here if I click on this? Yeah, see, Zoom's back end is really, really cumbersome here. For all your meetings and webinars. Oh, monetize with PayPal integration. Kind of interesting. Recordings, does it actually keep local recordings, cloud recordings? I'm going to assume that cloud recordings were paid subscriptions, so that may be something that if you have a large institution, a lot of people doing this, that type of thing might be worthwhile. Now, this is where most of us are going to want to do some work here. In the settings feature of the Zoom.us profile, so Zoom.us profile /setting, you're going to have to sign into your account there. I'm not going to go through each and every one of these things, but these settings that you have available to you for scheduling meeting and whether or not the video is on, audio type, telephone, computer, whatever you want to do. Allow participants to join the meeting before the host arrives. I'm going to actually turn that. I'll leave that turned off. Actually, no, I'm going to leave this turned on, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm trying to model as much as I can the classroom experience, face-to-face classroom experience with this. So students show up to class early for a few minutes, they chit-chat, great, we've got this then, same type of thing. Use personal ID when scheduling a meeting. I'm not sure what this actually does. Let's go look into that. Click that. Here's my Michael Vanderpool's personal meeting room. Can I change the name? I have a meeting ID. It requires a password. I think if I do that, then this URL stays the same for everybody. Yes. Pretty sure. Okay. Oops, no. We'll go back. Go back. Yeah, that's what that is. Then that URL stays the same. And I had this happen earlier when I set up multiple meetings. If I just set it up as an individual meeting without it being the personal meeting room, then some craziness can happen. So I'm actually going to turn that on because I want the URL to be the same as much as possible for me. Yes, and use personal ID, PMI when starting an instant meeting. I don't think so, because I wouldn't want anybody to pop in on a private meeting that I was having, right? Like, and I think for maybe like advisors and stuff like that have maybe have a waiting room for people. I guess there is a waiting room feature here, but that's, again, a little bit deeper conversation. Just know that feature's there and it's something you can talk about and think about. A password will be generated when scheduling a meeting, and participants require the password to join. Personal meeting ID meetings are not included. Okay, that's sweet. So if you want to do a meeting in a different room that had a password protection, I think having that on is a pretty good idea. We don't want the password for the personal IDs, meeting IDs, I don't think. We're dealing with small groups. Like, I was thinking about for my college classes, maybe leaving that on, a password requirement. But I mean, I'm talking, 20 people, less than 20 people, even up to 30 people, right? You can control who gets into the room. And as long as everybody uses names and I have a moderator as well, I think we'll be okay. So embedding passwords into the meeting allow participants to click just without having to enter the entire password. Yep, that's good. Require passwords for participants joining by phone. No. Mute participants upon entry. I don't know what you want to do there, maybe. Upcoming meeting reminder. Receive desktop notifications for upcoming meetings. That's probably worth turning on for some of you. Mine all, since I'm doing them through Google, I get those Google alerts anyway. In meeting, the basic stuff, all participants allowed to chat. Cool. Private chat for people to send one-on-one messages to each other. I don't know whether you want this turned on or off. I'm turning it off because I have a different platform that I use for student communications like that. And I don't want them to get in the habit of using Zoom for this. I want them to use that other tool because they're already trained on the other tool. Automatically save all in-meeting chats so that hosts do not need to manually save the text of a chat. Yes, I'll turn that on. What's nice is when your meeting is done, it'll save a text file of the chat, and you can go back and do that and look at questions and any interactions or resources that were shared. Play a sound when participants join or leave. Again, I'm going to turn this on. Oh, I can make it by host only. Yes, that's a good idea. I hear it. I know when somebody comes in, somebody leaves, right? Hosts and participants can send files through the in-meeting chat. I am turning this off specifically because we have another tool for handling that. Display end of meeting experience feedback survey. I'm going to turn that on just to test it. Yeah, I think this would be good information for them, right? And we'll do it from random. Yeah, okay. Allow hosts to put attendees on hold. I think, no, I don't need that. Always show meeting control bar. So I think what that is going to be is that'll always be on the floating somewhere. I don't know if that's going to be for me or for other people or what. But that floating, staying always visible, will be important, I think, for new people coming in. Show Zoom windows during screen share. I don't know what that actually means. Anyway, screen sharing. So I'm allowing all participants to share their screens. And who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? Only the host. Disable desktop screen share for users. Disable desktop or screen share in a meeting and only allow sharing of selected applications. Leave that off. Annotation, this is a feature, and whiteboard, both of these I had to turn on because I think they were off by default. No, maybe they were on by default. I can't remember. Remote control, I'm pretty sure, was off by default, so I turned these three things on. We didn't play with remote control in any of our meetings today, but last night with Eric Ward, a video I shot on Zoom, we played with that. It's a cool feature for me being able to type on another computer, another participant's computer if I need to, especially within code stuff. I think it's nice for doing code paired programming and stuff like that. Eric Ward and I talked about that last night. Annotation, whiteboard, yes, those are features that we showed. Participant in a meeting can provide nonverbal feedback and express opinions by clicking on icons. I'm going to put that on. Maybe that's the handshake, thumbs up type thing, maybe. Allowed removing participants to rejoin. No, we want that out. Okay, these advanced settings. The breakout room. This is important. This is for lectures. You got small groups that you want to be able to have and go have their own conversations, then come back. That's part of what I do in my physical classroom environment. Zoom's going to let me model that here by breakout rooms. I can go ahead and set I can go ahead and set number of participants. I can set the number of groups, and I can automatically or randomly assign people, manually assign people to those. So that's awesome. Allow meeting hosts to provide one-to-one remote support to other participants. I don't know what that means. Closed captioning. So we thought this might be captioning, but this is allow the host to type captions. It's not going to caption for you. Far end camera control. No, we don't want anybody to take care of my camera. Virtual background. People have some fun with that. I think it's cool. It'll if it annoys you up front, it'll go away soon enough. Auto answer group and chat. Only show default email when sending email invites. It's fine. Use HTML format. I don't care about that. I'll use select stereo audio. Who cares? Lets the host see an indicator in the participants panel if a meeting webinar attendees does not have Zoom in focus during screen sharing. This might be interesting. Lets the host see an indicator if the participant panel, if a meeting webinar attendee does not have Zoom in focus during meeting sharing. I'm going to turn that on. I don't know if I'm going to I'm obviously going to tell people, but it'll be interesting, right? One of the things that I've run into in my life of meetings is people who, man, that dryer's going to be loud. And I apologize. I just realized it was on. Never realized how loud things are until you actually shoot audio. Been in meetings where people on conference calls or other things are doing 20 other things on their computer. That's not cool. That's a waste of everybody's time. At that point, why are you even in the meeting? Couldn't we just follow up with an email? And yeah, you may think you're multitasking, but you're not. So we could probably have shorter meetings if everybody just paid attention in their meetings and participated. But I'll end my rant there. Waiting room. Attendees cannot join a meeting until a host admits them individually from the waiting room. If this is enabled, the option attendees to join the meeting before the host arrives is automatically disabled. Okay. That's kind of cool. Maybe. I don't know. I'm leaving it off. Show a join from your browser link. Allow participants to bypass the Zoom application download process. I'm turning this on. This is big for us, folks. In education. Yeah. The experience is going to be different. So we'll want to warn people of that. But yeah, now people don't have to download the app. Email notification. Yes. I don't even know what this is. I can choose the language for whatever. Whatever. All right. Those are all the settings that I would use. So now if I'm going to go ahead and start a meeting, I'm going to go into, so I'm on a Mac. So I'm going to open up the Zoom application. I'm going to sign in, and I'm going to sign in with Google, and hopefully it uses my, see, this is a problem. I'm going to warn you about this. I've got a school account and a personal account. Even though I was on this other page, or could be in my school account on Zoom, and then on my personal account as the primary account for being logged into Chrome. And even if I'm on my school account, my work account email, and set up the meeting link, it's still going to fall back to the primary meeting creator, or the primary email address that's logged into Chrome as the meeting creator. Can I switch account? See, but now it's going to automatically just default to that. I can't actually switch an account here. All right, so I can't get into my own account here, but I'm going to show you a couple things. From the application now, this is the application. If I hit join, I could put in the meeting ID that would come in the email invitation. All right. Schedule. Again, I'm going to recommend everybody don't use this. Use Google Calendar, please. New meeting. Ooh. Hey, look at that. I got the space in the background. Hold on. Let me actually let me end this meeting here. What was this drop down here? I can start with video, or I can use, okay, so I can start a meeting with my personal ID. So if you're going to just start in, let's say I'm on a phone call or have an email exchange or a chat exchange, text exchange, who knows what it's going to be anymore, and say, hey, you know what, let's hop into Zoom to handle that. I could use my personal room and then click on that. And in my personal room, here we go, I can join with computer audio. And then in my personal settings, the video must not be on. I can turn the video on. Where does this background come from? I know you all want to know that. So to save you the trouble, right here, choose virtual background. And I believe that there's a couple that are already set, and you can even upload. So I'm just going to stay on the moon. Works better with a green screen. It's doing its best right now. And then if I want to invite somebody else to this, right, like this is a pop-up meeting, I'm going to throw out 2 for the price of 1 here, and want somebody to come in, I click there at invite, which is down in the lower menu bar, and yeah, look. So remember when I went in and did that setting, and that was on my other account, where that popped in and out. I'm going to make the assumption then that this is the way it looks when you click that setting that we did, with the toolbar at the bottom, menu bar at the bottom. But click invite, and then I've got copy URL. Invitation was copied to the clipboard. Then that is what I could share to somebody through Slack or Google or any of those type of things that I might use to communicate to people. So this was the front end of using Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and, well, no, I'm not going to record this meeting because that's kind of silly. I've got other meetings I had today. We've gotten to this point before, or we were all in meetings. One of the things that came out today was like, hey, how do I actually set up a meeting? I think hopefully I've just shown you that. If you have questions, hit me up with your questions. And then one of the next videos that I do here is going to be the post part of like when you record a meeting and you end it, would you have that? Where does that go? How do we deal with that? So